It actually, I think it's menthol.
Oh, all right.
That might be the specific
That's
flavor.
illegal in New York City, right?
Yeah, we're breaking the law.
We're breaking the law.
Is menthol? I know it's illegal, like the nicotine, but obviously there's no nicotine in this. Or is it just the?
It's obviously it's menthol flavored cigarettes.
Alcohol, illegal.
That'd be crazy. Like they're just trying to eliminate mint from the city.
Well, it's for smoking. It's not really like
Menthol
flavor.
flavored cigarettes, but then just all menthol. That'd be like.
Well, they only
that'd be like
care
when they
about
were
the
banning
menthols
vapes.
'cause it's worse for you.
That'd be like if they're banning vapes and they also had to ban cotton candy
No.
from the city.
I don't think it's this. It is. I get what you're
Like
saying.
no cotton candy.
But it'd be like if they were banning cotton candy flavored vodka. Like no, that's not banned. You can buy that
Yeah, I know.
in New York City.
Okay.
But cotton candy flavored vapes are banned in New York City.
Are they? I feel
All
like you
flavored
can get-
brands are banned.
Wait, why am I able to buy them at every vape store?
It's illegal.
Oh, okay.
That's why they pull out from a box from underneath the counter as
Oh.
opposed to the actual counter.
I've never had any trouble getting delicious flavored vapes.
That's how little of a cop you look like. If you look a little more like an officer, they would not. But yeah, that's why I don't think menthol flavored booze is illegal in New York because there's no ban on any flavor of booze in New York. But there's bans on tons of flavors of all the vapes. So that would kind of make sense.
one flavor of alcohol banned.
There's
for some-
well, like Four Locos were banned, you know. I
Yeah,
don't
but
think
then they toned it back.
Yeah, it wasn't like this flavor's too fruity and delicious. It was the content
people
of alcohol.
like it too much.
It was the specific combo of caffeine and alcohol. I think it was
Yeah.
like 4 beers, 4 coffees. The original.
Oh, the original.
Yeah.
The original was nuts.
Yeah, it was like basically drinking crack. But
Yeah.
they got the job done, realistically. Like, that was the perfect mixie before heading out.
Yeah, it gets you energized. Now, you know what's kind of filling that niche a little bit is espresso martinis.
Dude, that's so true.
That is like they saw a gap that Four
And
Loko left.
the espresso martini is arguably dangerous because it's like you're just making the Four Loko at home
Yeah, and it's not
with no regulation. You can make it as strong
Yeah.
as you want.
and it's less trashy to have 4 espresso martinis than it is to slam 4 Four Lokos.
Dude,
So you've got
what did I just call a Four Loko? Fucking drinking crack.
Yeah.
Espresso martini is cocaine.
It's
dude.
cocaine.
They fancied
It's the
that
fancy
shit up.
version.
We stole it from the young community,
Yeah.
and we were like, wait. You guys we have to ban that
Uh-huh.
and make it super illegal, and then just invent espresso martinis. Wow.
Yeah, this is different because it's served in an elegant glass.
And you can like order it at a fancy bar. Imagine you tried to order a.
That'd
Give
be
me a
funny.
Four Loko.
There was definitely a
the
time.
old kind.
There was probably a sweet spot of a few months where at bars you're like, I'm gonna get a Four Loko here.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
they like
they
just threw it
served
in
the
their
can.
lineup over like a fancy glass because it was colorful.
I would if a bar in New York City opened that with like Four Loko on tap. I bet they'd get a little publicity.
You throw a couple extra bucks for the original.
The
can.
original,
We got
the
a few
OG.
OGs in the back for you.
The only keg of the original
They
OG
didn't come
Four
in
Loko.
kegs.
No, but that's why it's so rare.
They just are opening
Yeah,
kegs.
they
into
had to
kegs.
do it
Pumping
individually.
air. Did you buy a lot of kegs in college or drink out of kegs a lot?
No, a couple of times, but there weren't any frats at my college.
That's true.
So like it was not.
They were pretty much exclusively the
And
ones.
when we were a city school, it was a bar culture more than a house party culture.
I feel like I've seen a keg at a bar in like some spots, but
Yeah, well,
not
that's all.
regularly.
All the taps. That's all from kegs.
no, like a fucking actual keg in like the middle of like an outdoor
Oh.
bar or something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe. And what some guy there to hold him a hose. You pay him $1, and he's the worst job in the world.
Noah, our friend in the city, had a keg at his last something or
Guinness
other.
keg, right?
Maybe.
It was dark.
Fancy. It was darker.
It was
yeah.
not like.
It wasn't a party
I was
keg.
expecting Miller Lite or something like that.
I don't know. I like a keg though. It encourages more drinking.
Yeah, because you're like, I gotta get rid of this keg.
Yeah. I remember in college a couple times we'd have the keg like in our apartment in like a trash can of ice for like 2-3 days, and it was like, all right, I might as well have like I guess 3 beers after school.
Yeah.
Because like it's just gonna melt.
You gotta get rid of this.
Gotta get rid of it. But they're like, if you don't finish, it's just a big waste of money. That's like the whole issue. You kind of have to commit to the keg.
There's so much. And the keg stand, like the whole handstand, it's never cool. It was never. I've never been
cool.
like, whoa.
I mean,
also, because no one's ever actually doing a handstand. It's two people dangle you while you drink from this keg.
that's the thing.
A
Well,
real handstand, I would be like, because you got to do that if you're actually a true keg stand.
Yeah.
You're up on top. You got to balance with one hand.
I mean, it's not.
And then hit it with the other.
I don't think it's necessarily a strength feat as more of a drinking feat, because it is.
Is it even a feat to
Yeah.
be dangled?
Well, again, you're not being. I've done my fair share of keg stands.
But you're not getting, like, you hold it, they lift up your legs and hold you there.
Yeah, but you're supposed to be like completely over, so your arms are getting a little bit of a workout on top of just like having to drink for like 20 seconds upside down is kind of not super enjoyable. Clearly, you've never done a true keg stand. I can tell from the
No,
way.
very few people have ever done a true keg stand.
Okay, you've never done a keg stand.
No,
I'm
I
guessing.
haven't.
Wow, really?
No.
Oh, dude, we gotta get you up there.
Was that going to change my mind?
It's pretty funny being a tall person doing the keg stand because.
You need like 4 people. To
Yeah, and
hoist
like
you.
they're like, oh my god! You're like,
You're all tippy up there. Like, you can't.
Someone sent me a video. It was like the caption was a Snapchat from college, and it was girl power, and it was my girlfriend at the time and her 2 roommates all lifting me doing a keg stand. I'm like parallel with the ground,
Yeah,
and they're
they
like
just,
holding me like
that's
this.
what I mean. They're just holding you, and you're like, oh, this is nice.
So they weren't always the best, but I don't know. I like keg
Can we
stands.
look up someone doing a true keg stand?
True.
Like keg stand, no assist.
Ooh, these are just true keg
True,
stands.
okay.
No assist. This is gonna be like no assembly required. The most dangerous keg stand ever. 5K.
So as we mentioned,
No.
we realized that keg
He's
No, it's the same. What?
Keg stand, no
I don't
help.
This may never have been done.
Keg stand with no help.
Oh,
Looks
fuck.
like this guy 15
Oh,
years
he's
ago.
using the wall though. Still not true. No,
He's got the ceiling.
that's good. It's the closest one I've seen.
I mean, they're conveniently not showing his feet. This was 15 years ago, dude. This is OG
Yeah.
YouTube right here.
Very impressive, but still not a true keg stand. A true would be no wall. You're freestanding.
I don't know, dude. This looks pretty sick.
This is if Simone Biles wants to have a killer video.
No help keg stand, 18 years ago.
Oh, this guy doesn't look like he's
He's
got a
gonna
wall.
use the ceiling too.
Ceiling?
Or, I mean, that's.
Oh yeah.
Well, he technically is not getting any help.
Yeah, yeah. It's closer, but it's still not the unassisted.
I think
free.
the issue is that a keg stand is a somewhat degenerate move, and you have to be a super not degenerate
Yes.
to be able to do that.
To balance one handstand on a keg is almost an impossible feat. I feel like.
One hand?
Because you gotta.
Well, I'm
you gotta
assuming
put
you
the other
just
hand.
put it in your mouth and then.
All right,
go.
I would accept that too.
Yeah, like how else are you doing it?
I was imagining them one hand and then they let go and they're like, and like they've some people are down below securing the keg.
Even when I was being lifted, I was not doing it one hand.
What, someone put it in your mouth?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, unassisted guy we just saw did one hand.
Yeah, I guess I
Yeah.
wasn't the specimen I am now.
I guess is there a place to put your hands?
No,
on
you're
either
you're
side?
like basically grabbing like a basketball.
So there's
rim.
not like a flat surface on either side of the nozzle where you could kind of get your hands in
No,
there.
you have to hold it like the bars. So you go up and then. I guess I have done one handed and then like you're definitely doing two hands for the majority of it. But
All right, that's cool. That'd be. I've got a new mission: is to find someone doing a true keg stand.
your best bet would be like to palm something in the middle because no, but that's where the tap is. Yeah, it'd be.
You would
weird.
have to. The keg would have to be secured at the bottom to stop from toppling.
And even then, the balance on like because it's not. It's like this thin.
No, I know, but you could hold it and like people
And,
go
like,
one
I guess
arm on
balance,
the
yeah.
double bars.
I think the keg is way thinner than a double bar.
Look, I'm not saying it's not hard.
And they're not like
We couldn't
they're, like,
find a
rolling.
good video of
You're
it.
right, right.
A few tries.
Anyone out there, if you can do the true keg stand,
Yeah, Simone. We know you're listening.
she could probably do it.
That's what I was trying to say. So if she wanted a killer TikTok
But
video,
I could definitely drink longer than her.
that is so not the point of a true keg stand. She could do a handstand for 20 seconds. She could maybe do one-handed
But do you
handstand
think
on
she
a
could
keg.
chug a beer for 20 seconds? No shot.
Well, she'll just suck on it.
No,
Softly.
that's not a true keg stand.
You have to also be able to pound beer.
Well, it's not like you
Well,
can.
she could train for that.
You can't like control the flow. That's the whole point. It's like pouring like a keg.
Okay, but
It's not like you're sipping a straw.
Look.
It's pouring.
the handstand's the harder part, and Simone's got it down.
Dude. That's what I'm saying.
I think
the
that
handstand isn't necessarily the harder part.
110% it is the harder part to do to an unassisted one-handed handstand on a keg stand.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you meant in like a normal keg
No,
stand.
I'm saying in the true keg stand, the handstand is the hard part.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Simone, who has that part down, could train for the chugging part,
Yeah.
and then I think get it.
But I think she'd lose a lot of her edge on the handstand in that chugging training.
But she's not doing another Olympics, is she? Surely. What is this, like her 10th one?
How old is she?
She's 30-something, and most gymnasts stop at.
She's 27.
Most gymnasts are done by like 22.
Well, she's 27.
Google it, like average age Olympic gymnast. It's like 14.
Am I going to get in trouble for this? The next one was female. Yeah, 15. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the average age of the U.S. 2024 Olympics was over 22 years old, making it the oldest to compete
Simone, that
since
old hag.
1915. She's
driving
really
up their average.
pulling them up.
Yeah.
When we were in Italy with my family, we went to a club, and my cousin was like 27. I'm like 22, 21. I was 21. And we had one of my cousins that was like 15, 14 maybe. And my uncle was there, and he's 40.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like 10 of us, and the guy, I remember my cousin was translating Italian, which her time's like pretty good, but not the best.
Uh-huh.
And he asked what she assumed was our average age of the group, because he's looking around, and she was like, 24? And I was like, Uncle Steve, you're cranking those numbers up. Like, and we did the math, like, it was pretty close. Like, even with a 14 and a 15-year-old,
Yeah.
Uncle Steve, 44's old ass, just cranked us up. He was probably 50 at the time. No, he was in his 40s, but it was we weren't lying.
Mm-hmm. And you guys were what, 19, 20?
I was 21.
21, okay.
And this was like my cousin Caleb, he was 14.
Okay.
But it was Italy, so like, they definitely would not have let him in had they known he was 14, but we were a bunch of people and just walked in with
whatever.
him. Yeah.
And it's Europe.
He had a beer
Like,
at one point.
Fine.
Yeah.
Who cares?
It's Europe, exactly. I mean, what kids are drinking in Europe at like 12. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, but then also like the binge drinking is less out there.
I know. It's ridiculous that like that is a better system than ours, because we get way more fucked up when we're in college.
Yeah.
And we just didn't start drinking when we were 12 years old. I'm sure there are some troubled European drinkers.
Well, yes, of course there are alcoholics in Europe, but the whole like you have to go through a 4-year binge drinking phase at least is not really.
Well, I mean, it's not like you have to, but it's just like what everyone's
It's
doing.
strongly recommended.
Yeah, but I wouldn't like say that's. I think that's just the party atmosphere of college in America. Like,
That's what I mean.
yeah, but not everyone does that. Like,
Of course, I never mean everyone. Literally, I never mean literally everyone.
I just double check, and I want to make sure.
Like, I know a guy. He got a little drunk one time, but that was it.
Everyone does not get very drunk.
I knew lots of people that were sober. All the
I
time.
guess what I'm saying is like, in America, the college culture is not necessarily, not even everyone goes to college, and not everyone in college parties. It's just like what gets noticed the most, I think, as opposed, because like so many people, like we didn't see people that weren't partying because you don't see the people that aren't partying. Like,
Yeah, those losers.
it's like the planes. What's the Survivor plane bias?
Oh yeah, the survivorship bias.
We gotta ask all the guys like why they're partying. It's like, well, the people who weren't at the party are not.
They're like, it's so funny, dude. I just pulled everyone out of this party. They all party.
Everyone parties
Everyone
at
parties.
this
100% rate. You're telling me I asked 100 people, didn't find one non-partier at this party?
We asked everyone in our fraternity. Well, this is when Group Me was really popular. I think it was Group Me, and you could do polls. And we had a whole Group Me with our fraternity. It was like 88 dudes. We did like, do you smoke weed? It was 86 votes yes. I was like, dude, UConn burns. Like, and the two guys that said no, one's FBI, the other one's be a politician. I was like, all right, it's fair.
That'll come back to bite you.
I think it was, have you ever smoked weed, to be fair. Not do you smoke weed.
Okay.
Which is a little more
I'm
realistic.
surprised those guys had never smoked weed.
Mm-hmm.
I knew some guys that wanted to work in the government, but did weed in college.
Did the weeds.
They did marijuana.
How'd that go for them?
They had to like work shit jobs because you if you're being honest about it and you tell them you have to have like I think it's 6 or 7 years of sobriety from everything except for like alcohol and cigarettes and antidepressants and all the other fun things you can still do before you can apply for a government job.
And did they get those jobs?
Yeah, eventually.
Nice.
And then I know other kids that like did acid all through college and then just kind of lied and caught them immediately.
Well, don't you get lie detected? But like,
Not for every job, so I think
see.
that's what determines it.
and I
'Cause
mean,
some they're like, if we lie, do a lie detector test, like they just won't hire anyone.
I feel like if you're gonna be in the FBI, you should be able to fucking fib a lie detector test.
You think so?
I mean, it's not impossible. I
It's
saw
not impossible.
saw a really funny video of the dude who does the voices for Big Mouth and what's his name? He's
Nick Kroll.
Yeah, Nick Kroll. They were interviewing him with a lie detector, and he was trying to beat it. And they were like, sometimes, is it true that in your head sometimes your inner monologue is in the voice of this guy? And they threw up a picture of Jason Statham, and he started doing his Jason Statham accent. And he was like, "I am Jason Statham," and he's like, "Yeah, bitch." And the lie detector wasn't going on. Like he was believing himself that he was Jason Statham. It was. You want me to pull it up?
Sure.
You don't have to sound so. Do you want me?
Then
Tell me. All right.
I don't want you
Good.
to.
I appreciate you.
Hear enough, Nick Kroll.
You can be honest.
Okay.
This is a podcast about expressing yourself
Is it? I thought it was about smooth rhymes.
and good times.
Here's the Moose Lounge.
Obviously, I was thinking about throwing it in there too, and I was like, no, give me a.
We were. That was just too nice a setup.
It was.
What is this podcast about? There's a very specific and clear outlined goal that we've strayed from strongly.
And I feel like every single episode have at least one or two smooth rhymes and good times.
No, I meant that we started with topics, and now it's freewheeling.
Well, the topics find us, you know.
Yeah, multiple topics in one. What did we talk about last time? Prosthetics, and then we also talked about
Dog fights was kind of cool.
dog fights, and the one before that we discussed those roller shoes that make you move at faster than walking
It
speed.
was like 6 miles per hour.
Yeah, like slightly faster.
Like your grandpa's gonna actually injure himself at this speed now, whereas before it was probably gonna be like maybe a broken hip.
But you know, he'll get to do more than one thing before he dies. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's getting there on faster.
And we'll get to the grocery store even earlier than he wanted to.
That's a big downside. As you get older, you can't cram all the stuff you left to the last minute in because it takes you forever to get there.
Yeah. You gotta factor in the,
You know how
the
you're
old driving age.
You're waiting until you're old to go to that one pottery shop down the road. You finally decide, and it's like an all-day thing.
It's funny. It's like how we used to travel in the old days. If you wanted to do something, you had to plan like 3 days return to get into the city and back. That's kind of how being old is. It's like, I want to go to the grocery store, but it's gonna
Yeah.
take me the day.
And it's even more similar because you're old. It's like you can't really use your phone, so you don't have connection with anyone.
Yeah, but that's probably kind of nice. Just raw dogging it for a couple
No,
of hours.
I know, but it's making it more similar like the old days.
Oh,
Whereas
yeah.
we're fast and we can call someone and look at
Get an
directions.
Uber immediately.
They are slow and will, have an argument with Siri.
Honestly, fuck Siri though. When was the last time you really used Siri?
Never use Siri.
And I feel like it's been around forever. And there are like I use the Google guy pretty regularly to turn on the lights and shit, but Siri's just never been good. It just kind of sucks.
And sometimes it's good for like, what is the capital of Texas or something like that, but
I just I'm so quick at typing on my phone, And the only reason the Google works is because you don't have your phone or whatever. Like,
yeah, if you're proficient in your phone, it doesn't really save much time.
It's never, I like how you can do audio recordings. So that's, at least you can express some tone or I want to sing a song, whatever.
Actually, you know what Siri's great for? Is when you're arguing with someone and you know you're right, and you get to ask Siri and have Siri tell it to their face.
That's
like
true.
Siri does
As opposed to you saying it.
You reading it off doesn't have the same sting of Siri being like...
It just sounds way more factual.
Yeah.
Because it could just be me saying it, but it's like Siri's not gonna lie.
like, the average penis size is 4.5 inches. Aha!
Not I told you, she told you.
Yeah, you hear that? Not from my lips.
Especially when you're arguing with a woman, just coming from woman to woman.
Yeah.
This is, see? You girls.
Yeah. That's the new workaround for mansplaining. Siri, explain to this bitch how long light takes to get from the sun. Siri can't mansplain.
Siri, gives it a fucking attitude. She's like, all right, dumbass. When he was trying to do was explained to you calmly, but you wouldn't shut up. Now we're overstepping our boundaries here. I ran us in as a podcast.
Ran us in?
Yeah, I feel like, you make jokes that would
Reel us in.
Rain us in?
Oh, rain. I said ran us in. And I was like, oh, you ran us in.
I'm running us into the ground.
Reel us in.
I reel us back sometimes.
Well, here's the thing. Once the podcast takes off, we don't need to be reeled in because we have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Not true. I have still many things to lose. I don't have much going on right now, but I could.
One day.
By the time it takes off, I could have a ton going on.
Yes.
No, I was thinking, every one of my cousins has a girlfriend or boyfriend right now, and all these weddings coming up, it's gonna just be them throwing all their friends at me, and it's always like the one friend that also is single. It's
As a single at 28? Yeah.
Well, no, because my cousins are a little older, so it's like they're like 33-year-old single friend.
They're like Brian, ready to settle.
The best is, and like, the couple times this happened, it's never bad, but it's like, I don't want to meet someone in front of my whole family. Like, my grandma is over there, my mom, everyone.
Yeah. Your grandma's observing your game.
Yeah.
So let's see what Brian's spitting. What's he going to lay down, this lady?
Fucking pipe this bitch? She comes over with Siri, like, he's got a huge penis.
Yeah.
Grandma, Siri, what the? But I don't know. They're always like, they're so cool. I'm like, yeah, they're cool, but I'm in front of grandma.
Yeah.
I would way rather just.
And when the adjective people use for you is cool, that's not a good sign.
I hope that's
like
how
nice.
people are not described.
People go, oh, they're nice. And I'm like, oh, so they're the worst person in the world. The best thing you can think is nice.
Nice is pretty rough.
Nice
you can be nice and funny. I feel like that's not bad. Funny's a good
Yeah,
word.
funny is great.
Yeah.
That's descriptive. Nice is like, oh, okay, the best you could do is that they're not mean. Thank you. That's what a...
She's totally not a huge bitch.
She's not mean at all.
He's not a dickhead in the slightest.
That's way funnier to be like,
She's
oh,
not really mean
they're
at
not
all.
mean.
But some people like mean.
Yeah, I know. So that could be even worse for them.
Imagine everyone keeps telling you people are nice, but you're like, not only is it not descriptive, you just want a mean girl.
Yeah,
Looking for a good mean girl.
I just want a nasty,
Nasty
awful
girl.
lady who's gonna put me down.
I mean, sometimes I don't want someone that's so nice. I'm nice to people, but I can be like.
Well, you reach a level of niceness where you're a liar, and you just have to lie all the time to be nice.
Yeah, or you're like over satisfying everyone. You can't say no.
Yes.
I hate over satisfying.
Exactly. But if you're honest, most mean things are just the truth.
Yeah.
Most mean things.
It's true.
Or just someone is honest to you for a second, and you're like, "What the fuck?" the
But-
truth.
I mean, sometimes you don't need to hear the most
No, of
honest
course,
thing,
of
and that's
course.
like where it's like, okay, I didn't need to hear that. Like,
But here's the flip side. If you do hear that honest thing all the time, it's not upsetting when someone uses it to be mean. If you're a fat guy and your friends make fun of you for being fat all the time and you learn to let it roll off your back, suddenly the person who's actually trying to put you down is powerless.
that's true. I guess it's good prep for like a real world, situation, but it's not like if I hit a bad golf shot and you're like, that was a bad shot. Like, I don't need to hear it from you
Sure.
if I know
Yeah.
it myself.
No, I know. You don't always
If it's-
have to be honest.
But being fat's kind of a different example because you could forget that
Yeah,
you're
and you
fat.
don't need to constantly be like, "Hey, what's up, man? You're fat." Like, it doesn't have to be a constant reminder.
fatty?
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it would have to be if you were really trying to
But
train.
if a lady asks her lady friends, "Am I fat?" They go, "No, you're beautiful." I love the videos where the street interview's going around asking every lady, and every girl goes, "I'm a 10, and my
baby."
friends are 10s, and they're all 10s." Or I saw one today where he asked a bunch of ladies if Lizzo was hot, and then he started calling them Lizzo, and they all got mad after they said Lizzo was hot.
That's a good one.
That was funny. And he's like, "What? She's beautiful."
I saw Lizzo's losing some weight. Mm-hmm. Looking good.
Yeah, well, she's milked the fat community for what they're
Now
worth.
she's got to go for the health community.
The health community. I turned my life around.
I feel like most celebrities either get really big, stay big, and then die kind of young because they like are also partying, or they get healthy. Like I don't know too many, especially in the modern day, super big celebrities.
Yeah, well, when you have a lot of money, like being fat and out of shape, is almost an effort.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you
like,
could hire a personal chef and a personal trainer
Everything.
that live in the next room.
and Lizzo has always had money, so it
Yeah.
was kind of like it's not a choice, but it was. No, it's not. I don't know. It's tough because
Well, I
like
think
I don't
she
know what
really-
her fucking medical history, but
I think when she forced one of her backup singers
To
eat that banana,
Yeah.
she's like, maybe
I
food
should've eaten that.
is hurting me. Maybe it's food. Maybe food is too big a part of my life.
Yeah. But like every chubby celebrity usually gets money and then gets fit as fuck.
Yeah. Which is a shame because sometimes their chubbiness was their charm. Like Jonah Hill,
No,
Looks worse.
he's such a good actor though.
he's a great actor and I love him, but his head is the size for a fat man, and he now no longer has the body.
I think that's brutal. My guys,
It's honest. That's me.
are you gonna say you just
Okay.
like Lizzo now
Sup,
because she's
Jonah?
skinny?
Your head's too big.
No, I support you, Jonah. I'm glad you're healthy. I just
Well,
think
this
like
is something that can be objectively measured.
What?
We could measure his head and compare it to his shoulder width and
and
height.
say that he should be fat again because his head is.
No, we make no comment on his fatness. We just say, just so you know, your head's a little large.
No, I just realized
What?
that light's green. Hey Google, light's white. I wonder if the
Sure.
rest of this
Changing the lights
episode's
to
gonna
white.
be.
Damn
Welcome to
it.
the Moose Line.
No, we're back.
Welcome back.
We're back from the green room. Where would be a place with green lights?
The green room, like.
Well, the green room just means the waiting room when you're about to perform. It's not actually green in there.
Oh wow, way to take a comedy stance. There's a fucking.
That's all.
That's all green rooms.
When you say green room, that's what people mean.
I mean, you could think of a. I'm thinking plants when I hear green room.
Well, give it Google. What is just green room? What comes up?
The movie.
Okay.
Cool.
Obviously, that's what everyone thinks of is green room. Green room.
What if I say what is a green room?
Yeah.
What is a green room? Backstage area in theaters. Yeah.
Backstage area. Stage. Place behind the stage to wait to perform.
Well, I was just thinking plants when I heard green room.
Okay.
And also like a smoky, like I guess just like a green bar, like a place to smoke weed in a
Oh yeah.
in a venue. Let's take the green
Pot
room.
shops. So like we need to make sure we get this message across.
Yeah, this is the green room.
Green lights will really. Purple lights will throw people off.
Well, that's for other drugs.
Yeah, that's for purple Kush. Purple is a big weed color as well.
Is it?
Yeah, when you look close,
I
it's
think it's
some
like
of
purple
them.
haze. And I've seen like orange weed, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we were just like high for the first couple times in college or it actually happened, but I remember we were smoking some like stupid gravity bong, and the weed did have orange strands in it. It was very colorful weed, and when we lit it, the smoke was like orange. Like it was an orange, like, a flame came down. I'm sure it was just flame or something stupid, but we lost our minds. We're like, bro, the smoke is orange. We're smoking orange weed. Smoking weed in the beginning days was definitely like hitting outer space.
Oh yeah.
You
It was
were like,
nuts,
what is
nuts the first
going
few
on?
times.
It's definitely like a ridiculously different drug the first couple times you do it, and then you're like, oh, this is nice, but I was literally
Yeah.
seeing demons, not demons, good demons, crazy demons. Oh, to be young again.
And smoking.
Drinking alcohol similarly was like, I remember getting like fucking, I remembered it all. I remembered most of it more, but you just got so drunk so much quicker that you were like, like
Well,
immediately.
We have that. Do you remember the moment we first drank beer together?
When?
Do you remember?
If you told
This
me,
is supposed to be a special memory that you treasure
well, like,
and hold in.
we
your-
had a lot of.
But we
big-
drank one of our first beers together. It was. I don't think it was either of our firsts, but it was like. I'll just tell you. We were what? I think we were like 7th grade, 8th grade, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were real young, and your parents weren't home, so we stole a single Heineken.
Okay,
me,
I do
you, and
remember
Jack.
Heineken, yeah.
And then we went up to the roof of your shed,
Mm-hmm.
and we just passed it around and took the tiniest little baby sips of this Heineken. Like
We used to do it with like Tom too. We'd have like a swig of whiskey or something.
yeah, something tiny.
And die. Dude, I remember tasting awful. The Heineken That's a bad beer to drink now.
Yeah, well, that's just all that was. That's all your
In the
dad
tin
drank.
fridge,
So
yeah.
we're like, I guess this is beer.
Dad, you should drink Bud Light.
Yeah, you're
I
just
think you'd like
land
it.
shark. What about a twisted tea every once in a while, Dad?
I mean, I remember one of the first times we got like kind of drunk was in Phil. I hope you're not watching. Our neighbor's basement
Oh yeah.
with the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty fun.
That was pretty.
That was
fun.
pretty badass of us.
They were moving out, so it was an abandoned house.
Yeah.
We have to give context to the viewers, and so, but you had a key from when you would dog
No.
sit or something, or that we knew the basement was unlocked.
They had a storm door that was just open,
The storm door was open.
and it went right into their basement.
Yeah, so we invited 2 girls over and Tom. We had no good reason to invite Tom, but we did.
I think it helped our story a bit as to why we were having, because like
I think because we tried to sell it as a party initially.
no, it was a party. It was a
They're
legit
like,
party.
"You should
Because
come."
Jack, my brother, was there as well. So
Oh,
there
he
were
was, yeah.
6 of us.
You're right. That's the.
Did we get 2 30s? Or
we
just
might-
one?
I don't. I hope just one.
I feel like one probably
Yeah,
got.
2. We weren't that destroyed.
No, we kind of were.
We weren't. We would be vomiting profusely 2:30s.
Well, if you recall, we also may have indulged in some marijuana that evening as well,
Okay.
out of like a water bottle and a
Yeah, I remember.
tinfoil. So I think the combo of the how many beers amongst that's like 4 beers each.
For 2:30s.
No, I think it was only 130.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it was one.
But still, 5 beers probably.
Yeah.
That's a
For
little.
6 people, 5 beers. Yeah.
We were like 15 though. Like my brother was.
Yeah, that's a lot. I'll be drunk off 5 beers now. I get drunk off like 3.
I know. So that's something.
Yeah.
I remember being like pretty swifty.
Yes. Is that a Rick and Morty reference?
Yeah, but I've kind of just thrown it into my
Or you've
normal.
added it to your vernacular?
It's like a 7-year-old Rick and Morty reference at this point.
Yeah, Swifty. You see,
Gotta
there's
get
like
Swifty
they've
in
released an anime.
Did you watch it?
No.
I watched the first 2 episodes. It's like, it's the storyline was very much the point of the episode. Like, you know, it was a lot of like details and it was confusing. Like it wasn't really like as funny. Like Rick and Morty, every episode doesn't really matter. There's like the overarching story, but like most of the
Yeah, most
episodes
of
are
them don't relate to
random
it. Yeah,
stories that are. There's more jokes throughout the episode. This was like a really in-depth storyline that I was so confused. I'm like, oh, Rick and Morty anime, cool. Like, fucking, this is funny.
Yeah, I've no desire to watch Rick and Morty twice at the same time. Like that's I just,
Yeah, cartoon.
While the original's still going, I'll just watch that one.
Well, have you finished everything Rick and Morty? Like they're.
Yeah,
They
it's
make
all
their
on
episodes-
HBO or whatever now.
I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like they recently added the most recent season.
That show's been coming out since forever. Like we used to watch that all the time in college. That was like the show that we would basically not stay up. Like I don't remember
Stay
another
up till,
show
what,
that we would like
11?
watch at a certain time on cable. Like we didn't care about other shows other than Game of Thrones. Like my senior year, but I didn't watch like anything that was releasing like that schedule
Interesting.
in college.
We
We watched
for,
Netflix and shit.
for us, it was John Oliver. We watched him every Sunday. We were big fans.
Yeah, see, we were the Rick and Morty crew.
Yeah, it's much
We all got our news one way or another. Rick and Morty on
that
Twitter.
was your news. Some vague reference to a political situation
like 6 months
Yeah,
ago.
when they were writing the episode.
Well, Justin Rowland got axed from that show for some not so good.
Yeah, he was like DMing an underage girl or
Did
something.
you read the DMs or see them?
No.
Dude, they were in the Rick and Morty like tone. He's like, I'm gonna show you my dick, bitch.
No.
Dude, I swear to God.
Hey, he was method acting.
He was.
He was committed to the character of Rick.
I
I heard that like he wasn't even a big part of the writing.
no, but he's the voice of
Oh,
Rick.
that was his thing. So who does
He's
the voice?
Rick and Morty.
Who does him now?
They got someone else. That's why it sounds a little different in this new show, in the new episodes. Where's the actual text? Roland first messenger. Hey, what up, bitch? JK.
And how old is this girl?
Like, let's see. She was 20, couldn't buy drinks herself, so he took her to the bar.
She's 20?
Yeah, I guess she was texting her since she was 18 and then waited. I'd have to read.
Okay. If she was 20, then this is what did he get fired for?
He's like 50.
Isn't Leonardo DiCaprio dating a 20-year-old right now or something?
Yeah.
What is it?
She goes, yeah, we gotta talk these things out loud. I
Yeah.
gotta say. She goes, oh yeah, sorry at the airport, insane, blah blah, insane in the membrane. He goes, I have, or no, sorry. He said, I have school tomorrow. He goes, oh, school tomorrow? Lol. Oh no, FML. You should just run away from home and go into sex slavery, you fucking stupid faggot bitch. JK. Oh man, that would have worked on me.
Was it working on her?
Yeah.
Like, were they in a relationship, or was this just like he harassed her? I really don't know anything.
Yeah, he was sending her nudes. It looks like. I would imagine that's what those blurred out
What if he
images
just
are.
looks ugly in those photos?
Sorry for spamming the guy with the dicks in his mouth. I just want you to be happy and have fun. I
Oh.
like cats and dogs.
It's like a random meme or dirty picture, you know.
Who knows? Not I. I don't do that stuff, bro. Explain it. Explain. What is that photo?
Well, a dick is. You don't want.
Oh, I thought it was like a
dick in mouth?
specific meme.
No,
that you're like,
no.
oh, I know that meme.
It said guy with dick in mouth. I was like, I know what that is.
Well, you were like, oh, it's a meme. Like,
Well, there's some like the real buff black dude on the edge of the bed with the monster penis.
sure, but I would have known that meme. But you were like, oh, it's the guy with dick
A
in his
guy
mouth.
with dick in
meme.
his mouth meme.
I just thought it was maybe a smaller circle of memes that I'm not a part of.
Yeah, a very
Niche.
niche.
Probably not that niche, honestly.
No.
A lot of fans. There's how many gay people do you think there are? I guess what defines someone as gay? Like in America.
What do you? I feel like
Well,
there's a
like-
pretty clear definition. Like,
Bisexual, would you consider them part of this number?
let's see. I guess that's. a good
Oh,
point.
wow. Immediately.
So yeah, they count them for both.
Yeah.
No, you don't count them. I don't know. You'd have to look at their rates. You know what I mean? If it's like if you're a dude and you're like I've slept with all dudes, but I did have sex with a girl once, I'm bi. We count them in the gay. We'd have to establish a ratio.
Okay.
And to do that, this would be more complicated. We'd have to get like a distribution
And I
of the
feel like
ratios.
it wouldn't be the guys in question, it would be the women in question that are like
Yeah, that are borderline.
20 guys, but like 14
But,
girls and
yeah.
counting.
Or 20 guys, but girl, right now we're trying it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of comedians that are bisexual, but only date people of the opposite sex. Because it gets you on shows and stuff. It's helpful.
Oh, being gay?
Yeah, there's lots of one of my. It's actually so
Do
funny.
you have to prove it?
I wish I would be so on board if you had to prove it. Like that'd be so funny. No, there's lots of shows where they call them they're like inclusive shows, and then what they do at the inclusive shows is they list the groups of people allowed to participate. Where it's like LGBTQ,
Can I just be an
POC,
ally?
women. No, it's usually the no straight white guys, Mike. But it is just I don't even really care. I do just think it's funny.
Sounds like you care a little bit.
Care a little bit because I'm a straight white guy, but I do think it's funny to call it the inclusive show and then list the groups of people allowed to participate.
That is fun. That does seem like an inclusive
Seems a little
thing.
bit on the nose, like so ironic. Yeah.
Hey, but all the I was gonna say all the
Like-
shows seem like, but there's really not a lot of. Are there a lot of straight white comedians? Straight white male comedians?
Yeah, but people look to diversify their shows always.
Okay, because I was
Yeah.
gonna say most of the shows I've been to seem
Make an effort.
super diverse.
People will be a bucket, and like it's a random bucket, everyone, and then they'll be like, "We haven't gotten a girl in a while." That's how it's a random bucket.
But that keeps the show, because I bet you there's a lot of white dudes showing up, like at
Sure.
Kill Tony.
Yeah.
They probably get so many just like.
I don't think Kill Tony does this. I think.
Well, I think Kill Tony just
Well, here's the nice
sounds
thing
like
about
it's
a
little
random.
less random.
The nice thing about a random bucket is that you will get drawn exactly the proportion that you represent in the crowd. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or there's like.
It is perfectly fair in a way.
Yeah, no. Like it's fair, but for a show, you don't want the same act going up every single time. Not that
Oh
it's
yeah,
the same
yeah.
act.
You want different acts. No,
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm
totally
saying,
agree,
like-
and I really like. I get it because there are different styles that kind of
Yeah,
lend
and it's
themselves
like,
to
let's
different
get a girl
people.
up there just to like keep it fresh, so it's
For
not just
sure.
the same looking person even.
Yeah.
Just to have someone else up on the show.
Yeah,
If you had a bunch like 10 dudes in a row that all look the same, I guarantee people will like start to just.
It only frustrates me when I sit there and it's like a super hot lady that is not funny even a little,
That's
and I'm like,
super
this is
straight
just,
white male of you, man, to hate us.
This is just male. Not to hate, but to book the real hot lady. If I was single, I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but as an audience member,
I've never seen a comedian that was clearly up there for their looks. Like it seems like everyone. I've seen good comedians that are attractive. I've seen bad comedians that are attractive.
you don't think anyone would book me for my looks?
No,
Oh my god!
I think that's you got to go straight for
I thought
straight
that's
for
what
jokes.
was doing it for me. Was my looks?
No. It's the comedic value, unfortunately for you.
Oh, gonna
But-
have to go rethink my approach.
I mean, I don't think you're going up there with like a slutty style like you could be if you were going for looks-based comedy.
You're right. Maybe I need to undo a few more buttons.
I'm thinking like just completely 180, spandex, fishnet.
Okay.
Like if you're gonna go for looks, like really sell yourself.
I did get booked once. I got booked once for a lady that wanted to date me. Didn't know I had a girlfriend at the time. Did I tell you this story?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And then I had to. She invited me to a concert like the week before the show, and I had to be like, "Oh, my girlfriend loves that band.
Can she come?
Please don't kick me off your show."
Did she not kick you
No,
off the
she
show?
let me on. She was polite about it, but it was very obvious because it was like, "Hey, want to do my show? Also, you free?"
Damn, you about to be Batman, baby.
What does that mean?
That's I thought you'd get the reference. It's like Harvey Weinstein basically would do that to women, like, "Oh, you want to be on the show? Like, come on a date with me." And
Oh, be Batman. I see.
Joe Rogan
Like,
was like, "Bitch, I'm about to be
auditioning.
Batman."
Oh, yeah.
I'll fucking
I
sleep
do
with the
know.
old lady.
I do know that, yeah. Took me. I thought it was like some. I thought it was more direct of a reference.
This is kind of. It wasn't bad, but like my office definitely, in general, I would imagine, not a fan of Joe Rogan, just
Sure.
because of the
New York City, I would say.
Yeah.
On average.
And I saw one of my coworkers who was down in Texas, and we were just talking about it, and he was like, Austin was awesome. Like, he was down there with his family. It's like super family friendly. They went to Buc-ee's, got good food, blah, blah. And he was like, and it's growing, but like it's still so cheap to buy like housing in the surrounding areas. We were looking at Zillow, it was crazy. And I was saying how my friend's a comedian, and he was even saying how people are legitimately moving to Austin for comedy now because it's a scene. And that's because of Joe Rogan's, basically because of him. I would
Yeah.
say. Well, not exclusively, but like kind of exclusively because of the mothership.
Oh, yeah. It's the mothership.
Yeah,
Totally.
but like people were moving to Austin. It wasn't like Joe was the first to think of that, but he brought a lot of
No one
comedy.
was moving to Austin for comedy before Joe Rogan.
Correct, but
Yeah.
like tons of people were moving to Austin. In
Yeah,
general.
it was popular. Yeah.
Well, in the past like 10, 15 years, because before that Austin was like a ghost, not a ghost town, but really rural. It was like Old Fort or Fort Worth rather.
Yeah, I think longer than 10 years ago. But
20 years, yeah.
Something like that.
Well, it's blown a lot, but regardless, told that to him, and then during like our office meeting, my boss asked us what we did over the weekend, and Ken was like, "Oh, I just got back from Texas," and Brian was just telling me that because of Joe Rogan, a bunch of people are moving there.
He's trying to call you out.
I was like, no, he wasn't. He was being nice, but I was like, don't fucking. We work in real estate, first of all. It's not what I like actually said, but it kind of. I don't know. I was just like, shut up, bro. I don't need to out myself as a JRE fan.
And you're like, oh, actually, I heard that from someone who listens to Joe Rogan. I tell him not to.
We were
but, you
talking
know.
shit about JRE.
What dumb he is with all his sick tattoos and he's
One of my
ripped.
other coworkers told me she wouldn't ever like be a fan of someone that went on his podcast, and I was just like,
Just craziness.
it had like 1,000+ people on his podcast.
Yeah.
So I
Bernie
googled like the
Sanders.
most yeah, I was like literally like, so you hate Miley Cyrus, Bernie Sanders, all these people? She was like, well, no, I don't hate that. I'm like, I didn't know. And she actually, in her credit, she was like, I actually gave him a listen and didn't hate some of his episodes. I was like, all right, thank you
Yeah,
for at
look,
least giving
There's
it a
so
try.
many, you're going to find at least one you like.
Yeah, and I don't listen to the ones that are like not interesting to me. It's the
Totally.
guest. He's got
Totally,
too
it's
many.
the guest.
If you listen every day, I think that's actually a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like to every episode, it's a lot of Joe Rogan
Yeah,
in your ear.
because no way are you interested in all of those things.
No, you're
Like-
interested in a Joe.
I just happen to be into MMA, archery, comedy, and jiu-jitsu or whatever. It's a coincidence.
And also just like this random disease that this guy
Mm-hmm.
cured.
And I'm passionate about politics and anti-wokeness. And so this is what I'm just happy that
Just a podcast for me, you know?
And also, if you listen too much, it does get the things that Joe says gets repetitive. I shouldn't say these things. No, it's a fun podcast. I'd love to be on it. It's great.
Yeah, right? Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
just double checking one thing.
What are you double checking? You're on your phone right now.
I know, I want to
During
double
the
check that
podcast.
my draft isn't until 7:30. 7:30.
Your fictional draft.
It's not fictional, dude. They're real people.
What, you're not drafting them.
I am drafting them
Not.
onto my team.
They're unaware of it.
I bet you they know that they are being drafted onto some teams.
Do you think they get stats on their how many people drafted them at what pick in their?
Yeah, no, like that's
Yeah?
available.
Oh, like you could look that up for
Mm-hmm.
players. Oh, I bet that's a big shop talking thing.
Well, like Christian McCaffrey is going first draft in pretty much every.
I don't know who that is.
He's just a really good running back.
Who does he play for?
He plays for the 49ers. No, yeah, he used to be on the 49ers. Now he's on, I don't know, I'm not thinking straight right now. I'm going to get outed as a, yeah, he plays for a team that's good. I can't think. He was on the 49ers and now.
He plays somewhere. Are you going to be drafting him first?
I did on one of my leagues, because he's injured last year. So like he's kind of on the question mark, but even when he's injured, he's just such a beast.
That's what people said about Derrick Rose.
He's also super handsome.
Oh, now the reason. This is how you pick your roster?
He is on the 49ers.
On what a hot dude they are?
He's a stud. I'll show
Let's
you.
see.
And his wife is super hot too.
Well, yeah, he's
His
NFL
wife is
player.
Olivia Copal.
I don't know who Olivia Copal. Well, I see her now, but
Yeah.
I still don't know who she is.
But come
I
on.
actually don't think...
You don't think he's
it's not-
attractive?
No, that his wife is not my taste.
Maybe that's just not your best picture of her.
That's possible.
She's pretty attractive.
The cheeks, I can't get past them. Is she
Right.
sucking her cheeks? Like she like,
Well, clearly. How dare you?
is that her? Oh, what?
And cheek disease.
Endometriosis. Is that cheek disease, or does she just have her mask down around her chin? That's not like where she had surgery. It's just, it was COVID, and
Endometriosis.
she's breaking the rules.
Oh.
That's how. It's her ovaries.
Oh, God. Her poor cheeks. Oh, I was talking about her butt cheeks. Oh, you meant.
Yeah, she was sucking in her butt cheeks too much.
Yeah, dude, you're right. She's hideous.
No, she's obviously gorgeous. But when you said that, I had an image in my mind.
Well, first of all, I said he was attractive.
But then you said and his wife, and then I was like, okay.
Well, I think he's a stud. No,
Sure, yeah, he's a handsome guy. No
It's like
denying it.
He also is a beast. Like that. That to me.
And even more important, millions of dollars.
Well, they both make millions. She's a model.
Sure.
Let's see her net worth.
I didn't
Who
say
makes
it.
more
I
money?
didn't say she was poor.
Who makes more money, him or her?
Him.
Probably him. Definitely him.
I think the Tom Brady situation was an outlier.
Both are extremely successful. She's worth $9 million. I have to read more. Ooh. And he's worth 30 mil. Yeah, he's got you by a tad.
Yeah.
But that's pretty good for the two of them.
They're doing well.
They're doing
We're happy
alright.
for them.
I guess he is literally like the number one running back.
Yeah.
That'd be big bucks. But like Tom Brady's making so much money, and
I heard,
Giselle was just
but I heard Tom Brady would take pay cuts and stuff to make up
Yeah,
his
but,
defensive
like,
line or
you know,
whatever.
not like
Most of the money is sponsorships.
not that big of a
anyway.
pay cut. I think his net worth though was less than hers overall, right? Like it was.
She, yeah, like made more. She was the
Was it her
wealthier.
salary was more, or her net worth was more?
Oh, this is. Why would it would be weird if I knew that?
Well, I guess it had to be her net worth because it's not like she had a salary. She was like an old ex-model.
But you could be like annual income from the agency she ran
Yeah,
or whatever.
fair.
Something like that. I don't know.
Well, they're divorced now, so it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she's on the market, so is he.
that is rough. You said you went to he did the Tom Brady roast,
Yeah.
and like it was a week. Well, the worst time to do a roast is like a month after you divorce your supermodel wife.
It was
Yeah,
longer than a month, but
It was recent enough where that was all anyone talked about.
I mean, it was like a year after, but it was
and it
just
was all about his
the
wife
guy is so.
plowing the trainer or whatever.
It's like the easiest thing to do
Yeah.
when it's like your wife is so hot,
Uh-huh.
and it's kind of old to get divorced after being married for so long. It's weird to be like, I'm retiring to be with my family, and then get rid of 25% of your family.
Well, didn't they get divorced because he said that and then he came back? Like he came back for Tampa Bay?
That is definitely not the only reason they got divorced.
We don't know their relationship.
I can't
Maybe
imagine.
she just hates the Buccaneers, and that was with the final straw. She was like, I could understand the Giants. I could even understand the Jets, but the Buccaneers?
Yeah, maybe she was just such a big anti. I mean, how could you hate Tampa though? When you're a supermodel, it's just the
Because
beach.
you've visited. No, I thought Tampa's got a reputation for being trashy.
Yeah, but Tom Brady brought pride to Trash City.
Yeah, pride that maybe they shouldn't have.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I used to hate him, and now I just don't really give a shit about him because he's not on the Patriots, so it's fine.
Yeah, he just doesn't play football now.
Yeah, but like even when he was off the Patriots on Tampa Bay, I was like, yeah, you get him, Tom, yo man.
Has he won the Super Bowl again?
I was fine with it. I really
Yeah.
didn't care. I just when he was on the Patriots, pooping on the Giants all the time, and we had those 2 Super Bowl victories, so it was like
Not a wash, but
no, like I mean, Tom Brady is definitely the better quarterback, obviously, than Eli. But Eli did beat him 2 times in the Super Bowl, like within a couple years of each other.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, no one else did that. Like Eli was definitely the Tom Brady killer, and the best was when they did it. It was 2012. The Patriots were undefeated. They lost 0 games, and then in the Super Bowl, the Giants won. Like
Who else did that happen to? Like the Panthers?
yeah, the Panthers.
Yeah. That
But-
sucks.
It's the Super Bowl is kind of crazy. Like they pull out some shit that you haven't seen all year. I was seeing some clips from the Patriots, like documentary on when they won. They had like a Edelman, who's like a wide receiver, throw a pass in the Super Bowl, and do these like weird lineups that they had just not done all season. They waited all year for the Super Bowl, and I'm like,
Holding
that's
it
kind
in.
of bold. Like, but I guess that's what you got to do.
Yeah. Or you save it until you're
Guy throws an interception.
Probably like to playoffs, and then you're like, we'll use this if we have to. And so then maybe a few of your secret tricks make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because you
that's
didn't have to use them yet.
Well, they showed like one point randomly through the season they were gonna use it, and then he like called it off, and they didn't do it, and they never.
Wait,
exposed
what
it.
was it?
It was like where one player would you have to like determine if you're eligible or not, and one guy will deem himself ineligible, but they say it like right before the play starts, so the other team doesn't really have a second to notice, and then he lines up as a lineman, which is like the guy blocking, but he's ineligible. It's kind of confusing, but basically this guy should be very open all the time.
Okay.
And they did that a couple times, and they only did it like after the second half of the game, so that the other team couldn't even like talk about it in halftime. So
Yeah.
and Bill Belichick was like, "It's not illegal. It was
Look,
nothing. What we were doing is illegal."
If
but-
it's not illegal,
I know, but
I'm
it was a
on
little
Bill
shady.
Belichick's side. Like these are the rules.
These are the
and we
rules.
use them. What time are we at?
We're at 7:00. I have a less of an idea of the time with this new setup.
Oh, well, let me. The nice thing about these lav mics is the podcast never ends.
Never ends.
It's joke time.
Joke time?
Yeah.
My joke is on my computer, and I think it's gonna actually like screen record, so I might just kill the screen recording.
Okay. Kill it here.
Kill it.
Kill it.
I don't know how. Stop recording.
That might do it.
Wow, that processed so fast.
That's great.
That's lovely. This makes me think what we were doing was juvenile before.
All right. Let's see. Let's hear. All jokes are written by Michael Stan. Of
How many
course.
do you have today?
4.
Okay, you want to steal one? 'Cause I only have
Yeah.
one mid joke, if I'm being honest. Let's take it. Oh, this one's kind of long. I don't know if you want. I think I just took the
These
same
are the
one.
shortest ones. Take one of those.
Well, this one looks. Oh, I have some of your other joke in here.
Oh no, that was a starting line to the joke
mean,
that I decided.
Is that what Mike told
That
you?
Mike was like, rip that out. That's
Get
not a
that
good
out of
line.
here.
All right. Let's do your joke.
I'm reading. Oh,
Okay. I meant like the one you wrote. I want to hear it. Or the one that Mike wrote for you.
the one
In
that
your
Mike typed.
voice.
He emailed this.
He
one.
wrote it in your voice. He was thinking of you.
Sure thing. What do you call an old dog that failed his redemption arc by trying to learn new tricks?
What?
6 feet underdog. There's potential there.
There's
I
something
promise.
there. It needs to be a little. You got to think about it a little.
I know.
Yeah.
What is the punch, or what's the starter?
The problem is it's just almost a little too clever. You need to make it more obvious.
It's too clever.
Or like, what do you call?
A dead dog, or
A dog
a
that
dying
made-
dog trying to do its best.
A dog that made a comeback but then died. A 6 feet underdog. Just to be sure.
That was like what I had originally, and I was like, that just sounds not as smart.
Yeah, but you don't always want to sound smart. Often, if it's too smart or clever, people don't laugh because they have to think about it too much.
Well, I feel like in a podcast setting, we don't
God,
get any laughs
play
ever.
It. They can play it time and time again.
That's what we want, that replay value.
Yeah. Be like, what the fuck is he saying? I'm 6 foot underdog.
That's when we get them.
All right. Sometimes things can be tough, but you live and you learn. Unless you're dyslexic. Oops. I'm dyslexic.
I thought that was the joke.
No.
Unless you're Dick's Lexus.
Sometimes things can be tough, but you live and you learn. Unless you're dyslexic. I can't say that word. Sometimes things can be tough, but you live and you learn. Unless you're dyslexic, then you just live.
Okay.
It would have been good the first time, but I'm apparently dyslexic. It's
I'm
a joke
confident
about
it would have
me.
been way better the first time, buddy. So today I actually learned that cowboy and milkman are professionals and not a reference to two guys using a glory hole. Is this professions now?
Yeah,
maybe?
professions, like jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, one
So,
of them's the cowboy,
I get
the
it
other's
now.
the milkman.
That's a good one.
I don't know. Bad news. Due to the rise of inflation, literally nothing is a dime a dozen.
That saying used to make sense.
Used to.
It was
You used
like,
to be able to get a dozen of something for
a dime. What were you getting a dozen of, you think, for a dime?
That's such a weird... Like, why couldn't it be 10 a dime? Because a penny a thing is so much more... People are doing fractions of pennies for their products, so you have to
That
buy
must
them
have
in
been
bulk.
so annoying.
I guess bakers are probably like a dime for a dozen.
That's totally what it was.
Yeah. Or eggs. Or Jesus' disciples.
I feel like bread and eggs makes the most sense.
But people don't buy 12 of bread often.
12 like loaves of bread.
Is that a popular purchase? Have you ever bought 12 loaves of bread? Something that goes bad after 4 days?
Back then they were eating a lot of bread.
Probably. Unleavened bread.
Yeah, that's why you had to get 12.
I did both of these?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, was it you?
I only had
Oh,
these
okay.
two.
I made it onto my train this morning by the skin of my teeth. Now I just need to see a doctor to figure out why the fuck my teeth have skin.
That's another weird saying.
Another weird.
Mike was just thinking about those.
I saw him
weird-
earlier. He Googled these like popular English sayings and then tried to write jokes out of them.
That Mike, he's always thinking of creative ways.
He's creative. He needs to figure out this tech shit. But
He's
otherwise,
a mere Mike Stan, though.
Yeah.
He's not a tech.
the Stand family is not known for their tech savviness.
You know who we need to call?
Who?
Is
Oh,
his first name Nick? No, his last name is Nick. Technician.
Oh.
Yeah, technician. I think
His
he
first
lives
name is Tech.
out in home.
I thought we were gonna ask our other friend, Michael. Last name Raffone.
Michael. Michael Raffone.
Michael Raffone. Yeah, that's how.
Oh, from Italy.
Yeah, from Italy.
Mr. Raffone.
Mr. Raffone.
Yes. Mr. Raffone was my father.
All right, that's the Moose Lounge. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks.
See you next week.
Wait, we didn't throw.
Oh, right.
Dude, that's gonna look good. You can throw those.
I had one hit the camera the other week.
Yeah.
I don't know if the viewers remember. Actually, I don't know if that was a technical difficulty episode. It might have been.
That doesn't count as hitting the camera. I'm going right in between camera and frame.
No, you want to hit the camera. That's going to have
It's
the
gonna
best
go,
effect.
Oh, right into the camera itself?
Yeah.
Oh, into the camera.
Oh.
I misheard you.
Close, but not
Eh.
quite.
Close but no cigar.
Mm.
Another.
But I'll relay that one to
later.
Michael Stan
We'll let him know.
for next week. See
All right,
ya.
bye, everybody.